CM Punk continued his quest to avenge World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins last night on Raw, which emanated live from the Centre Videotron in Quebec City, Canada. Would the best in the world gain a measure of revenge for the Money in the Bank cash-in that robbed him of the top prize on the red brand? Or did the flagship's lead villain again leave Punk seething? Find out the answer to that question and more with this recap of last night's show, which also featured Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch in action. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Floyo, joined by the Phenom, Michael Bullock. We are awaiting the presence of good old MF Michael Fletcher. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we'll hopefully have him back Friday night for the Cerebral Smack Talk. Monday Night Raw live last night from the Centre Videotron in Quebec City, Canada. And we started it off with an in-ring segment, CM Punk kicking off last night's show, drawing a huge ovation from the fans in Quebec City. He wasted little time addressing Seth Rollins and the heist of the century from SummerSlam, admitting he felt like he let the fans down. He vowed his disappointment from events at MetLife Stadium will only fuel him to regain the title, and then reiterated his hatred for Rollins, who claimed he was trying to be CM Punk. LA Knight interrupted to a big ovation and joined Punk in the squared circle. He said Punk had been screwed and deserved to be champion, but he warned him against getting involved in his business after costing the megastar his opportunity to be World Heavyweight Champion. The situation deteriorated with the competitors trading barbs before Paul Heyman interrupted. Back and forth ensued with some great heat for Heyman before a challenge for a match pitting Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker against CM Punk and LA Knight was laid down for the main event. The segment was fine, furthered the story ahead of what appeared destined to be a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship between Punk, Knight, and Rollins. Inspired, but at least it made sense within the context of what had preceded it. So, fine segment to start things off. So, not much more for me to add on. So, good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. CM Punk and LA Knight in a promo battle before getting interrupted? Sign us up.
Yeah, no, these were like two of the best talkers in the business, no doubt about it. There was a little bit of some interesting observations coming out. CM Punk really kind of poured his heart out, talking about how he was the world heavyweight champion and then Rollins took the moment away from him. I think we all could relate to that and felt that pain that happened at SummerSlam on night one, and now he wants the title back. And I think a lot of people want to see CM Punk get not only the title, but to have a legitimate reign as the heavyweight champion of the world. LA Knight is the top contender. There's no doubt about it. With everything that's been going on. So it definitely was fitting for him to go at it and to see these two interact. I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest guys with the pipe bomb in CM Punk, and LA Knight can hold his own on the mic too. We all know, especially during the days of Eli Drake from TNA, that he is not just a scrub when it comes to on the mic work. So this was a really good segment. Paint by numbers as we would normally would say, but it was still a solid opener. So Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
Yeah, it was a fine segment, but yeah, when you got CM Punk and LA Knight in there, oh, sign me up for that as well. And yeah, you could see CM Punk basically, like you said, like he let the fans down, but hey, he didn't let the fans down. I mean, he was all thrown off by like all of us were when we all thought, oh, Seth Rollins he's just letting him know that he was going to cash in once he's returned. But once we found out that his injury was all a ruse, then it threw everyone off. And Rollins once again with the heist of the century, and Punk was like saying, "Hey, I'm going to not only win back my world title, but I'm going to get some revenge on the guy I can't stand the most." But you could also make the case for LA Knight because he lost by a disqualification, so he is entitled to a rematch. So, and then Heyman comes out, and then of course we get the match for later on in the night with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and against Punk and LA Knight. So it's a fine segment. So nothing more to say. It's yours.
First match of the night, it was a tag team match. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee squaring off against Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano win the match in 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Whoa, okay. Great time for an opening for the first match of the night. So MF, Dirty Dom, and El Grande Americano, they steal it from AJ and Dragon Lee, 16:40.
There's a little bit of triple mania on this one as well, because Dragon Lee, Dominic Mysterio, and El Grande Americano will all be a part of the Fatal 4-Way for the Mega Campeon. We'll talk about that on Friday night as part of Cerebral Smack Talk. At the end of the day, this was the right outcome. This was obviously, you got to give Dom a little bit of momentum. El Grande Americano gets some momentum. And the thing is that right now, this was a fine matchup. 16 minutes for this tag team fight is beyond well over the time I would have allowed it. But this was a pleasant surprise. You could even make an argument for sleeper fight of the night. This was at least 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. The action was really good. The wrestling was excellent. Like I said, to get 16 minutes out of these four men is a pleasant surprise, and was more shocking than anything else. I was thinking more of a 10 to 12 minute match for this, but they gave him 16. Was uh, like I said, I did not expect WWE to give him that much time, to say the very least, but it was a pleasant surprise. The match was fine for what it was worth. The outcome, I guess you could say, was in doubt because of the fact that Dominic has been on a little bit of a run lately, and there is rumors about that they might be crowning him the Mega Campeon on Saturday night. I don't know for sure. That's just rumors. But whatever the case may be, this was a solid matchup to say the very least. So 3.5 to 3 3/4. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.5, 3 3/4. I mean, I was surprised that it got this much time. I mean, I was thinking 10, 12 minutes, maybe even 13, but to get this amount of time, I thought it was good, especially for what we got here from these four men. I mean, yeah, you could say they won with with the thing that El Grande Americano uses with that metal plate. Well, it was actually Dominic who used it, so I was a little worried during the match that we were going to get those other two El Grande Americanos, that they were going to cost them the match, but thankfully that did not happen. Uh, so I really got nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
All right. 3.5, 3 3/4. Fun action-packed match that highlighted a handful of ongoing stories and featured some great in-ring action along the way. The finish only further intensified the issues between Dominic and AJ, keeping their issues alive while further painting Dominic as someone willing to do whatever it takes to win ahead of Saturday's AAA Mega Campeon bout. And it still feels surreal to hear WWE promoting the biggest event on the AAA calendar, let alone the announcement from Michael Cole that Hall of Famer JBL will be working commentary with Corey Graves on that show. I am beyond intrigued by that pairing. Let me tell you that right now. So I usually don't follow AAA. I mean, we all know MF is the big AAA guy, but boy, howdy, I just might actually tune into that thing on Saturday night. Call me crazy, but I can't wait to see it. So, all right. So 3.5, 3 3/4 for that. And we move on now. Sami Zayn squaring off against Rusev. And it looks like this match ended in an apparent no contest. It ended in a no contest after 10 minutes and 30 seconds. That's 10.5 minutes because the MFTs, Solo Sikoa and the MFTs, they showed up and they basically ruined the finish. And then Sheamus came out, and then Sheamus and Rusev picked up right where they left off. And not much more. Michael Bullock, I mean, yes, it's a no contest, but Sami Zayn and Rusev, 10.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give this 2.5 stars. I mean, I was going to give it 3, but obviously the no contest took away from it. But yeah, I mean, obviously the MFTs and Solo Sikoa obviously still fuming over the fact that Sami Zayn beat the United States champion and basically was saying nobody messes with the MFTs, and unfortunately for Sami Zayn, he found out the hard way. So, and obviously Sheamus and Rusev are far from done here, so we'll see where that goes. Maybe a rubber match, so we'll see what happens. But it's a 3-star match, but I'm bumping it down to 2.5 because of the no contest. So it's yours, Florio.
I would have given it 3 to 3.25, but I'm bumping it down to 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. The finish indicated a feud with the MFTs is up next for Sami Zayn, and again left Sami short of that world title opportunity he covets. So it worked in that regard. Still, the match was good, and a clean finish would have been a great way to wrap it up. But 2.5, 2 3/4 down from the 3 to 3.25 I would have given it. But and as far as Sheamus and Rusev goes, Bullock says there's something about a rubber match. Oh yes, there will be a rubber match, and I still feel there's only one logical way for these two to settle their differences.
A good old-fashioned Donnybrook.
You know it. You know it. Good old-fashioned Donnybrook. If you haven't seen one of those matches, go find SmackDown, July 29th, 2022, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Or Extreme Rules 2022, the Brawling Brutes against Imperium. Those are, and both of those were bangers. I'll tell you that right now. So, 2.5, 2 3/4 would have been 3 to 3.25 with a clean finish, but it is what it is. It looks like Sami has looks like he might be in a program with Solo Sikoa for the United States Heavyweight Championship, maybe in Paris. I don't know. We'll see. But and Sheamus and Rusev, no doubt about it. Good old-fashioned Donnybrook. It's coming. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. So, not much more for me to add, MF. Sheamus and Rusev, no contest, 10.5 minutes. Solo and the MFTs ruined it.
Yeah, Solo and the MF teams ruined it. It was a kind of a bad ending to the matchup, to say the very least. I think we all kind of were hoping for something a little better than that. But it is what it is. It was a little bit of a disappointment. But yeah, I thought they did a fine job with everything withstanding. But Adam Pearce absolutely went wild in the back, yelling at the phone. I'm pretty sure he's giving the business to my good buddy, Nick Aldis. And the thing is, what is Nick supposed to do in that situation? What is he supposed to do? I mean, you cannot control every little thing on when it comes to this. I don't understand why Adam Pearce is all pissed off at Nick Aldis, yelling about the MFTs. That's not his problem. They are scared. They're WWE superstars. You're free to go to wherever show you want. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry. Adam, you're barking up the wrong tree. If I'm Nick Aldis, I'm hanging up the freaking phone. I'm not listening to this. This is like Florio. If he's yelling at me about the MFTs, this is not my problem. I don't know what you want me to say. Get better security. That's all I can say. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem.
Well, you don't want to deal with Adam Pearce with the kind of night he was having. So that's the kind of night I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get on Adam Pearce's bad side.
Do you know who else Do you know who else got caught in the crosshairs there, Bullet? Our boy, our favorite referee, Mr. Danilo Amphibio.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
was
he got a.
wrestling on, yeah, Danilo and Fabio trying to say that he finally broke up the fight between Rusev and Sheamus, and then he got a little snippy with him.
Yeah,
And I think his pompadour kind of went 3 inches backwards.
yeah, or maybe even more after the way Sheamus and Rusev were going at it. So yeah, for Adam Pearce, this was the kind of night that if you're a superstar, it's like you don't want to get on his bad side. And Florio knows firsthand what happens when you get on Adam Pearce's bad side.
Mm.
He'll let out one big old enough in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this is one time where I'll be like, you know what? I do not want to get in his way. So
Good
if he's
idea.
like, because if he lashes out at me, it's like I'm gonna channel my inner Snagglepuss and be like, exit stage left.
Yeah, I can
Exit
see that.
stage right even.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Nothing more to
NMF.
say. Florio, it's yours.
And MF, you know how intense Adam Pearce was when he was in Ring of Honor now, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because we all know Adam Pearce, he was a wrestler. I mean, and a pretty darn good one too. I mean, MF would know a little bit more about that because of him when he followed Ring of Honor in their glory days when Adam Pearce was a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. So, but man, oh man. So as the old meme goes, that escalated quickly. So not much more to add on. So all right, we move on now to a match that I read a lot of reviews about this match, and this match received universal praise, and rightfully so. Io Sky squaring off against Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne Perez wins the match in 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Originally, now in the immortal words of one of my favorite sports broadcasters of all time, Mr. Bill Pito, we have ourselves a developing situation. Oh, yes, we do indeed have a developing situation. Last night, we were supposed to have a Women's World Championship match with Naomi defending the title against Io Sky. A good couple hours or so before the show, WWE put out a tweet on their social media that Naomi was not medically cleared to compete. So the match was off. And that's why we ended up getting Io Sky against Roxanne Perez. To universal praise, oh, by the way. A lot of rave reviews, and we're going to add on to that in just a moment. But that serious than we initially thought. And this Thursday, from what I've been told and what I read, this Thursday on I believe it's the Stephanie McMahon podcast, I want to say. The What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon podcast. Naomi and her husband, Jimmy Uso, are going to be on that show. Perhaps we'll get the answers we're looking for on Thursday. We hope and pray that this is, nothing, overly serious or anything. And if it is, and if it gets to that point, Naomi's reign as Women's World Champion could end up getting drastically cut short. And all we can say right now is prayers up for Naomi, Jimmy Uso, and family, for sure. I pray it's nothing serious, and we hope for the best. That's what we do here. So
we don't know for sure I think I know what it is, and I think it's actually going to be wonderful news. I think because I know there was something that she mentioned recently, and I think if it's what I think it is, she's going to be out for a year, but it's going to be well worth it. I think. I don't want to. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to put it out there. I want to wait.
Exactly.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to.
I heard some rumblings about that myself. Now that you
Yeah,
mentioned it.
And I know where you're going with this, so
yeah.
we don't want to speculate. I mean, we're only going with what we're hearing, and if that's the
Well,
case, then
yeah, yes. But
then
well, the thing is, it's not. I'm not hearing. I didn't hear anything. But after I heard that she's out indefinitely, it makes me start to think, oh, could this? And now that you mentioned that they're going to be with Stephanie and Jimmy's going to be there,
we're
I
I,
think so.
I
I have a working theory that
I think it puts two and two together. If
yeah,
Yep.
and that's why I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking personally. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to say it because I rather because I don't want to come off and say something and then I'm wrong. I don't want to do that.
and then have the IWC come after you,
Yes.
And
So
it's like what
or basically us.
it's like what Jesse the Body Ventura. Oh, it's like what Jesse Ventura once said. And he said this during WrestleMania 5, during the Mr. Perfect Blue Blazer match. I don't want to state anything as a fact until I know it's a fact.
exactly.
And that's why we need to keep an eye on this whenever that episode comes out.
Thursday.
When we get this Thursday. I mean, that's why I think we all need to watch it or listen and see what they say.
Well, you can watch it.
Because it's only going to come from them.
Well, I'll say this: if it does, because she is on Monday Night Raw, but Jimmy is on SmackDown, so we may get into it on Friday night as part of Cerebral Smack Talk. I don't know for sure, but if he's there, we may bring it up because if they bring it up, we might bring it up. But
from
only
from
if
what I've been
they
hearing,
mention it.
and from what I've been hearing, whatever this is, it could put that Clash in Paris match with Stephanie Vacour in jeopardy.
Oh yeah, oh most definitely.
And the Women's World Championship.
Yeah,
And the women's world title could be in big. Yeah, I don't. If there's a very strong possibility we might have to have that we might be looking for a new women's world champion. We might. You don't know. We're just speculating.
yeah.
So please
Let's
don't
keep an
jump
eye
the
out on
gun.
Thursday. Let's keep an eye out
Don't.
on Thursday for that
Yep.
podcast before we find out for sure what it is that they could possibly say.
Yeah.
If it's what we think it is, then it could be for a good reason. But I also heard rumors that maybe she has some kind of injury. I mean, that's only from what I've been hearing.
Like I said, there's a lot of speculation going around.
Again, the same thing with this. I don't want to speculate. I just want to wait to hear more. So let's just send it there.
Yeah, basically, I'm working off a theory of my own. Michael Bullock is hearing things. Anthony Florio is hearing things. We won't know until that podcast on Thursday morning, or whenever it's probably going to be Thursday during the day is when they drop it. Once they do, we're going to find out, and once we do, people will be reacting. So we're just waiting now. We're just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, right now let's talk about this match. that we did end up getting, and quite frankly, it was still a good match
Oh,
for something that was
lost in
thrown up
all of
at
this.
the last second.
Lost in all of this, it was Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez. And Roxanne Perez wins the match 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Miscommunication with the former Damage Control. Raquel Rodriguez was in Perez's corner, of course. And Asuka and Kairi Sane, they showed up. But it was the classic case of wrong place, wrong time. So, anyways, it's only a matter of time before the Kabuki Warriors betray Io Sky and ignite a rivalry that, if nothing else, should produce several excellent matches between three talented wrestlers. Io Sky is the in-ring MVP of WWE this year, arguably the best wrestler in the company and one of the best in the business as a whole, and no, that is not hyperbole. Io Sky and Roxanne Perez had some great in-ring chemistry, but the incessant interference and screwy finish bogged it down a bit. Yes, the intent was to tell the Damage Control story, but it may have been more palatable without Rodriguez playing a role on more than one occasion. That's my only constructive criticism for it. But other than that, very good match. 3.5 to another 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. But I'm leaning more towards the 3.5 because of the overbooking there. But and then they had a backstage moment where they were teasing a heel turn for Asuka. And MF had talked about an Io and Asuka program possibly for SummerSlam for the Women's World Championship. But that obviously did not happen because Asuka did not win the Queen of the Ring. Asuka lost that to Jade Cargill. But we still ended up getting one hell of a Women's World Championship match with Naomi, Io, and Rhea. I mean, that opened up night 2 incredibly. So there isn't much more for me to add on to it. So solid 3.5 stars for this match. So not much more to say. MF, Roxanne Perez defeating Io Sky in 15:30. And, well, Asuka and Kairi, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, no, wrong place, wrong time. And this was a hell of a match, too. This was an amazing battle. 3.5 stars is my rating as well. I totally agree with everything that you guys have said. This was an incredible matchup, and it looked like everybody was playing an incredible part in this. And I kind of feel like it was a raw deal for Kyrie, but I mean for Io in this situation. But Damage Control is now really split up. Kabuki Warriors is doing what they is going on their own, and yeah, you saw the little mini implosion between the three, between Asuka and Io, and I was pleading for WWE to pull the trigger on it and give us that match. And now they are giving us that match, and I'm excited. I'm very, optimistic about it because I told you guys I really thought Io versus Asuka was going to be a banger, and even the WWE Universe was looking for it. And now it looks like we may actually get it finally. So I'm like, yes, 1,000 times yes. Give me that match. I am looking forward to it. And yes, if it's on one of the PLEs, shut up and take my freaking money is what I would say to that. So 3.5. Florio, back to you.
Hey, don't forget me.
Oh, sorry, Bolik, it's yours.
That's okay.
I actually thought you led off. I think we got caught up with all that confusion.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this match came about because Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez decided to mock Io and saying, you know what, it's a good thing the match got canceled because Naomi would have embarrassed you. And yeah, that didn't sit well. And Adam Pearce was like, you know what? since you want to do this, you're going to be the one that takes on Io Sky. And yeah, this turned out to be a good match. But yeah, I'm going to give it 3.5. And yeah, for the Kabuki Warriors, it was wrong place, wrong time. And it ended up costing Io the match. And yeah, you saw the implosion backstage, and looks like they are turning Asuka heel on this, because you could see her and Io were going at it. And the question I have for you guys is, where does Kairi Sane stand with all this?
I think she stands with Asuka.
You kind of feel like, yes, that she would probably align with Asuka, but I gotta say, her and Kairi, and Io are more closer. They're really tight. They're like best friends.
The conflict of interest.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and also, guys, you saw during this, Rhea showed up in the back, and basically she tried to calm Io down with all this, and basically Io Sky wasn't having it. She basically was saying, "Stay the hell out of it." And you saw the look on Rhea's face. She was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. I was trying to help you. I was trying to calm you down, and this is how you throw it back at me?"
You know what it is? It's the competitive nature. I hope Rhea doesn't take offense to it. It's heat of the moment. You kind of have to understand that this was kind of a situation where they're fighting. It's just I think it's just the adrenaline got a little too real for Io.
And also the fact that Io didn't get her title opportunity.
No, and that's also another reason. That's also a good reason too.
Yeah, and when you add both of those things, you could just basically say it was not a good night to beat Io Sky. So, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. It is yours, Florio.
All right. Let's see here. All right, a lot of stuff went down, and that led to a Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch defending against Maxine Dupri with Natalya and Akira Tozawa in her corner. Winner of the match in 5 minutes and 35 seconds, and still the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Of course, it's Becky Lynch, and MF, predictable outcome. By default, worst fight of the night. But Maxine did get a few hope spots in there.
Yeah, she did. But the thing was that this was Becky manipulating the situation. Becky absolutely manipulated the situation. She played the card. She basically, if you remember, she ducked Natalya in order to get this match, in order to fight for this, to basically call her shot and for her to go up against Maxine for the title. So I can't be too angry about the whole situation. I felt like it was a little bit of a raw deal here, but it was still a fine match. It was still about maybe a 2-star bout. But like you said, the outcome was never in doubt. Becky successfully defends, and now we just move on to whoever the next challenger is. Remember, Natalya was the one that called her out on it. Natalya called out Becky for what she did and challenged her for the title shot, and then Becky basically ducked out using championship's prerogative and throwing Maxine Dupri into the fight, into the fire. So he wasn't looking for a real competition. He's just looking for any possible way to keep her title. So she went with the lesser of two evils by just basically ducking the boat and basically going after somebody else. But again, if you're Natalya, you're right now, your eyes are glued to something even bigger, because you possibly have a women's title fight Saturday night at Triple Mania. So you kind of have to feel like right now you're focused on possibly becoming the women's champion there. It's just we got to wait and see how it plays out. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, is yours.
So you could say, Fletch, that Becky was channeling her like her husband, Seth freaking Rollins.
I mean, yeah, she basically manipulated the whole situation. I mean, you know, you have the choice or the prerogative to accept or deny championship requests, and
Yeah, and
she basically used that power of veto, and she vetoed Natalia's, and basically like,
because she
you know,
knew she had a better chance against Maxine,
yeah,
because Maxine is less experienced.
yeah. Even though give it up for Maxine for the
Yeah,
performance that she did,
yeah,
but
and there were
we
times
all
during
knew,
the match, Fletch, where Becky was like, "Get out of my ring! Get out of my ring! You don't belong in here."
yeah,
And it was like her way of saying, "This is your chance to get out without any harm, because if you don't, it's not going to end pretty."
yeah.
But Maxine, she wasn't going to take it laying down. She gave her as much as she could handle, but the outcome was never in doubt. It's a 2-star match. It's the worst fight of the night. But did you guys notice after the match she took a cheap shot at Natalia, and basically yeah, that was the only way she was going to get her shot in. And I don't know if you noticed, they do have the Raw recap, guys. Biggie said something very, very interesting. He said he doesn't want to see the regular Natalia against Becky Lynch somewhere down the line. He wants the blood sport Natty. That's what he said. What if that cheap shot by Becky wakes up something in Natalia?
I can see it. I want to see it. I'm with him.
Because if you get Bloodsport
You get
Natty
Bloodsport
against
Natalia,
Becky,
Becky's reign's in trouble.
yikes.
Becky's reign is in trouble. If it comes down to those two for the title and Bloodsport Natty's coming,
Yeah, I mean,
winning that
I
fight.
would, I definitely would say, I'm definitely gonna say that Natalia will give Becky everything she's hoped she wanted. I just don't see her winning the title. I don't see
But
Natalia winning the belt, but I
well,
will say that if you get Bloodsport Natalia, that is gonna be dangerous because she is a lot more dangerous as Bloodsport Natalia. I mean, if you haven't seen her, especially in AAA or all these different,
or in
she is a
GCW,
different animal when she gets into the ring because she is more focused, more. She's a fighter. She is a fighter because you get to see the dungeon side of Natalia come out.
yeah, if you get that, oh, Becky, you may have woken up something that you probably wish you would have left alone. That cheap shot could come back to bite you in the ass. So we'll see what happens with this. But if we get Bloodsport Natty, I mean, I think Becky still would win, but by golly, this version of Natty would give her hell and then some. It's yours, Florio.
By default, the worst fight of the night. This is about 2.25, 2.5. Becky Lynch as a heel is so great. As strong a babyface as she is, she thrives when allowed to be a villain. Case in point, her role last night as the overconfident heel against the outmatched Maxine Dupree. This was exactly what it needed to be. Becky Lynch overlooked Maxine Dupree, sold her comeback, and teased that the underdog might be able to win, then put her away. The cheap shot to Natalia afterward continued to tease a potential showdown between them, which, based on their last high-profile match at SummerSlam 2019, that submission match, should be great. So, by default, the worst fight of the night, 2.25, 2.5 stars. And before we get to our main event, a candid and emotionally vulnerable video package featuring Bayley aired. In it, she discussed her status as the role model and the numbness she currently feels. Oh, heel turn is coming. There is a heel turn coming.
Oh, there's no doubt a heel turn's coming, because you saw near the end, you heard that ding dong and that sinister laugh that she had when she was a heel.
Yes.
Are we getting that Becky? I mean, are we getting that Bayley back?
Yep. I think so.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
That was but that was man, that felt a little creepy, if I'm gonna be honest.
Creepy but effective. Creepy but effective. All right. Don't really see anything to promote for next Monday's show, which will be live from, as MF and the late great Stuart Scott always used to say, the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's where Raw will be next week. And let's get into our main event of the evening, as it was CM Punk and LA Knight squaring off against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. CM Punk and LA Knight win the match via disqualification in 16 minutes and 25 seconds. I believe Bullock starts this off, and it was all because of Seth freaking Rollins curb stomping CM Punk. And then more craziness from the Vision, but Adam Pearce makes a game-changing announcement.
Yeah, you said triple threat? Oh no, we're getting more than a triple threat.
Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk versus LA Knight versus Yeet. Main event, Jey Uso, fatal 4-way match for the heavyweight championship of the world in Paris.
Yeah, what was the time, Florio?
16:25.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this because this match ended in a disqualification. I was gonna give this 3.5, but I'm gonna bump it down to 3.25 because of Rollins' interference and basically laying out the two, and then Jey Uso coming out, and that's when Adam Pearce made the match. And on the Raw recap, he even said that, because this was about, of course, because you could tell that Adam Pearce was still upset about the way Rollins like stole the title, but again, it's Money in the Bank, but I think it's because of the way Rollins faked his injury to make it happen. So, and now he put him in this fatal 4-way to try to for Seth Rollins to prove why he is worthy of that world title. And he's going to have to do it against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. So it's a 3.5-star match, but I'm bumping it down to 3.25 because of the DQ finish. So it's yours, Florio.
I'm right there with you. 3.5 down to 3.25. Before I get into that, the Bayley video package was superb and did more for her in 2 minutes than a majority of her booking over the last year. And that is an indictment on the creative team more than an insult to the role model. Now, as far as what happened here, fairly good tag team main event came to a conclusion in the worst way possible, with the predictable return of Rollins and a show-closing beatdown by the Vision. It feels way too much like lather, rinse, and repeat from a creative standpoint, especially since the Vision do not yet feel as hot as WWE probably thinks they are. And after watching Jey Uso, LA Knight, and CM Punk getting laid out by the heels again, why would anyone have any interest in seeing them challenge Rollins when it has been made clear they are not capable of overcoming the villains? So, anyways, it's a 3.25-star match, down from the 3.5 to 3.75 it would have been. So, there isn't really anything else left to say here. MF, Punk and Knight winning in 16:25, DQ, all that craziness, and then that 4-way for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a match, no doubt about it. Like you said, 3.5 stars. I don't think there's really much more for us to say there. So yeah, Anthony, it's yours.
All right, overall thoughts, and this was the definition of a perfectly acceptable show. There was some good wrestling, specifically the Triple Mania hyping tag match and Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez, but the main event angle felt repetitive and questionably highlighted the heel faction just seconds after Adam Pearce had made an announcement that should have been a blow to Rollins in the Vision. Sami Zayn and Rusev was fun, and the direction it takes the former on should be fun. The storyline development involving Io Sky and her former teammates was solid, while the latest in Bayley's emotional journey was outstanding and something we hopefully see more of in the coming weeks. The good outweighed the bad, but that main event beatdown bogs it down instead of ending with Adam Pearce's big announcement for Paris. So solid 7.5, right around that 7.5 to maybe 8 threshold, but I'm leaning more towards 7.5 myself. So not much more to say. MF, your overall thoughts?
Yeah, I thought they did. I thought it's about a 7. I think they could have done better with it, but I do say that they did a fine job for what it was worth. I don't think there's much argument here. I think it could have been a little better, but I'm not too mad about it. I thought they did a fine job with this show. So 7 for me, and Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
7.5 for me. I mean, I thought it was a good show. I mean, it definitely could have been better in some spots, but really not much to complain about. So nothing more to say. Let's get into NXT, Florio.
Yes, indeed. NXT as we continue on the road to Heat Wave. And Heat Wave, which will be live on Sunday night, August the 24th, from the Lowell Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Mass. And, you know, we continued on. You know, we still have a little bit of time. And, you know, last week was not the best show, honestly. I mean, it was one of those vintage NXT shows that we've been used to. That show felt like more of a an NXT 2.0 kind of a show, to be honest with you. So so with all of that being said, let's dive right on in to the first match of the night. Lash Legend squaring off against Nia Jax. Nia Jax wins the match in 12 minutes and 53 seconds. Okay. I didn't really know what to expect going into this, but I got to be honest here. This was a pleasant surprise. This was far more entertaining than it had any right to be. I mean, I thought it was going to be a slow, plotty, kind of boring match, but oh no, I was pleasantly surprised by this matchup. 3.25, teetering on 3.5 stars. Very good opener. The only thing I didn't like was the outcome. I was pulling for Lash to win this match. I think Lash could have used the win more, but NXT's obviously showcasing Nia Jax right now, and Nia didn't really need the win, but they gave it to her anyway. So, you know, there's not really much of anything of that. There's nothing we can do about it. What's done is done. So, I mean, I know Bullock's not going to be happy with this outcome. I know that, but nonetheless, it is what it is. And like I said, a pleasant surprise. I did not think this was going to be anything good, but oh man, did they surprise the hell out of me. Strong match on the whole by Nia and Lash. Another statement of how far they've both come. Simple. So 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Couple sloppy moments here and there, but other than that, pleasant surprise. So not much more to say. MF, pleasant surprise, far more entertaining than it had any right to be. I just didn't like the outcome, though. Sorry.
You know what? I don't mind that the outcome, because I kind of feel like I kind of disagree. I think because I don't think this is the last time they're going to face off. So I don't mind that this happened. Remember, Lash already got her moment. She eliminated Nia Jax in an epic fashion at Evolution. This was kind of their way of giving Nia the moment back and doing it in a way that it was an emphatic. She basically what happened was she got not one annihilator, she got two. And the first annihilator sort of killed Lash Legend because she tried to do the Lyra Valkyria, the power bomb off the top, and she got squished. And quite frankly, I'm sorry, Lash got what she deserved. She was trying, this is one of those rare times where you make the match. This was fine, in my opinion. And that was an epic, epic takeout. So, no, I'm not going to lose sleep over this. This was a 3-star bout. And what are they going to do now? You run it back. You let these, now they both got one. Lash got her moment at Evolution. Nia won tonight. There has to be a rubber match. You do this at Heat Wave. That's going to be the blow off, and that will end the rivalry. To me, this was logical booking. I know you're thinking, "Oh, Lash should have gotten the Lash should have gotten the moment. Lash should have gotten the baloney. She doesn't deserve the moment. Nia does. Now we're even. Now you run it back one more time, and then you kill the rivalry off. Bullock, it's yours."
Wow, I can't believe Fletch is actually on Nia Jax's side for once, but I digress. But yeah, this match was far and away better than what I was expecting. I was expecting this to be slow, sleepy, and boring, but yeah, this surprised me. I mean, 3.25 stars. I mean, I get where Fletch is coming from, but it's just because of the hatred I have for Nia. I mean, with all the things she's done. I mean, but yeah, I think Lash will definitely get her moment back. I think there's gonna be a rubber match at Heat Wave, and I think this is where she'll get the moment because she's due for a big time push eventually. I mean, if for some reason they have Nia go over on Lash at Heat Wave, then that's when I'm gonna go off. So we'll see what happens. It's yours, Florio.
All right. Moving on. It is a cutout here, even though it is of course for me and Bullock, it's our boy. It's Joe Hendry squaring off against Charlie Dempsey. Joe Hendry winning the match 3 minutes and 56 seconds. Simple enhancement win for Joe. I mean, that's really all there was to say on that. Coming off of that epic match against Mustafa Ali at the Impact taping at the Ryan Center a few weeks ago. I mean, it was nice to get a win. It was nice for him to get a win back, even though it wasn't, a blockbuster win, but still. You can make an argument for worst fight of the night honors if you wanted to. 2-star match. That's all it was. It was just a showcase for Joe Hendry. That's really all it was. So you didn't really miss anything there. Then there was an in-ring segment with Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura. And next week, Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura, Philadelphia street fight in Philadelphia on NXT next week. That's going to be something.
And I don't know if you noticed during that segment, there were some people that were chanting for them to shut Josh Briggs' mic off.
Yes. Josh Briggs had nuclear heat tonight during that promo segment. Yes, he did.
Yeah, that surprised me. I mean, I knew he was going to get heat, but I didn't think it would be to the point where there were fans that were wanting them to shut his mic off.
I think it actually makes sense. I think if you're gonna, because they're making him such a dastardly heel, and the way that he's been acting, I actually don't have a problem with that kind of attitude. So no, I kind of feel like that means they struck gold when it comes to this heel turn for Josh Briggs. It feels like finally, for the first time in a long time, that the fans are starting to resonate and starting to give that nuclear heat that they've been hoping for. So if Shawn Michaels and the boys were looking to do it, I think they found it. They found it. So yeah, nothing more to say. Gloria, go.
All right. And then a sit-down interview with Kelly Kincaid sitting down with Jordynne Grace. That came out really good. That was a solid sit-down there. And then they cut to Blake Monroe in Ava's office. And Ava announced that next week, Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace are going to go face-to-face next week ahead of their Heat Wave match. So that's not going to end well. We all know that. All right. Next up, we had a women's tag team matchup. The double champion, the NXT Women's Champion and TNA Knockouts Champion, Jacy Jayne, along with teaming up with Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix in their corner. They squared off against Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice win the match 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Kalani Jordan pinning the champ. MF, what could that mean? I wonder.
Yeah, normally it would mean championship committee moment, but here's the problem. For what title? Because remember, she is a double champ. But if you notice, there's a lot of contenders for the TNA title. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot going on with her. She's going to become a busy bee coming up because not only does she need to deal with Ash by Elegance and Masha Slamovich, but then on TNA coming up next week, it's the Elegance brand against Fatal Influence. So I gotta say it, Michael Bullock's best friend in the whole wide world was praising Ava for the incredible work that she's been doing as GM. You know, kind of sniffly weaseling his way. But when you're the personal concierge of Ash by Elegance, I don't give a damn who you are. You're special in my book.
Jacy Jayne. Jacy Jayne versus Masha versus Ash. TNA Knockouts title. Heat Wave.
Yes. That is going to...
For Kalani, it's got to be the NXT belt.
It's got to be the NXT. And not only that, but look at the contenders that wants that belt. Because you got Lola, you got Kalani. You know, not too long ago, Lash was talking about getting an opportunity at that title.
Like Monroe.
But Ash is out right now. Lash Legend's out because she's dealing with Nia. And there's also, and then don't forget one other, Miss Parker in the building too. She's in that mix. So, yes, Jada Parker. Don't get it twisted, boys. Miss Parker's also lurking around. Has her eye on that prize too. So you got 4 women on that side of the fence as well coming after the NXT women's title. And the thing is you could tell there is some friction going on in Fatal Influence. So if this thing keeps rupturing, sooner rather than later, JC might lose one of these belts. Sooner rather than later, JC might be losing one of these titles. The question is, which belt does she lose first? Does she lose the NXT women's title? Or does she lose the TNA Knockouts title? Right now, my money is, believe it or not, I think she loses the NXT title first. I think one of these women's going to take it because they're hungry. I've seen a hunger in this women's division in NXT more than I've ever seen in my career. And I really, really, really believe in my heart of hearts, I think she's going to lose the NXT title first before she loses the TNA title. Just personal opinion alone. I do see her keeping it over Masha and Ash, even though I'm pulling for Ash. But just aside, I just think it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Kalani wins. Solid match. I'll go about 2.5 to 3, and Bullock, it's yours.
11:54, the time of the fall.
Yeah, I'll give it about an even 3 stars on this one. I mean, yeah, I mean, you guys, there's definitely some friction with Fatal Influence, and I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to JC Jane, don't you think maybe she's being a little too cocky, a little too arrogant as a double champion? Because it's rubbing in on her Fatal Influence partners. I mean, especially, not just Fallon Henley, but also Jasmine Nix, because there's going to be a point where they're going to be like, you know what? We're sick and tired of your BS, JC. You're on your own on this one. So we got to keep an eye on this, because JC may be all cocky and arrogant and as a double champion, but that cockiness could come back to bite her. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. I'm telling you. So it's yours, Florio.
3 1/4, 3.5 for the match. Kalani Jordan pinning the champion sets her up as a title contender on the NXT side. And I don't expect JC to lose the titles anytime soon. I would like to have NXT do TNA a solid by having JC walk into Bound for Glory as the double champion. That's just how I would do it. But we'll have to wait and find out how they do it. But a very good match that plays further into Fatal Influence's squabbling nature and gives Lola momentum heading into Triple Mania. Wins all around, and JC has plenty of opponents to face for either belt. So this is a good 3 to 3.25 star match. No doubt about it. Another cutout here. Kendall Gray squaring off against Alba Fire of the Secret Harvest. Alba Fire winning the match 4 minutes and 5 seconds. 2.5, perfectly fine for the time it had. Not much else to say on that. And we got a loaded show for Philadelphia next week. TNA Heavyweight Champion Trick Williams one-on-one with Javon Evans. The winner of that match will challenge championship at Heatwave. Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe face-to-face. Jasper Troy goes one-on-one with Ricky Saints. Philadelphia Street Fight match, Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura. And all 3 members of Fatal Influence versus all 3 members of the Elegance brand in a 6 from there. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green are going to seek a peace treaty with Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Oh my God. But anyways, let's get into our main event of the evening. 8-man tag team matchup. Javon Evans, TNA Heavyweight Champion Trick Williams, Moose from TNA, and NXT Champion Obafemi versus all 4 members of Dark State, Dion Lennox, Cutler James, Osiris Griffin, and Saquon Sugars. Winners of the match in 13 minutes and 16 seconds, Dark State. And Dark State wins this match only because Trick Williams basically threw Javon Evans to the wolves.
Well,
and
before
I know.
Well, before I hand Florio, hold on. Before I hand,
breaking news.
The team turned on each other because there was a series of mistakes that were made. Javon Evans got
Yep.
ducked by his
Yes,
own
yes, they were.
partner. So let's not
Moose
throw
Cordoba too.
let's not throw the fact that Trick was the main reason why this team lost.
No,
There was no cohesion. There was no unity on that team. They were working
absolutely
like a
none.
unit, and then it exploded in their own faces.
Yeah, did you really think they were going to get along in that match? Hell no, absolutely not.
Yeah, especially when you got an ego like Trick Williams. But then again, you got a bunch of guys.
All four of them have egos. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, I mean, basically all. I mean, yes, they don't like each other, but the thing is, they don't like Trick Williams more because Trick is the one that's running his damn mouth, basically saying, "Hey, I'm carrying both brands." Yeah,
Trick
the
and
same
A.
Trick Williams who got his ass choke slammed by the Undertaker. What, Trick? Are you still mad over that? You're trying to still prove you're a tough guy?
He doesn't
Whatever.
need to prove crap. He's the TNA heavyweight champion of the world. Like, what does he need to prove? He's already
Right.
like, damn it to hell. He is the main reason why he's carrying both fucking brands. What do you want me to say? He's actually speaking goddamn truth. What are you talking about, Michael Bullock?
Ratings are
Like,
going through the roof.
yeah. So, like,
Okay,
the
hold on
Raiders-
a second, Fletch. I mean, first off, remember, this is Florio's channel. You didn't have to.
No, he's got my permission. He's got my permission to do it.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make things clear here because
Nope. All's good. All's good in
Okay,
the hood.
all right. So continue on, Fletch, with what you were saying.
No, my bad. I didn't mean for that to slip. But no, I mean that's
I don't blame you.
basically I was trying to go nuclear heel. That was just me trying to be who I am. So that's all that was.
Commentator.
Yeah. So that's all that was. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know you would allow it, Florio, because we're trying to respect your channel. Because if this was
I
Fletcher's
thank you
channel,
for that.
he could get away with that. But this
Yeah,
is your
but-
channel. It's a totally different story.
Yeah. So let's get going here. We got to wrap this up. Let's go. So I don't even know who leads off here because of that. Was it you, Bullock?
Bullock.
I thought
What'd you
so.
say? Oh yeah, it's me.
13-16,
All right.
time of the
Oh,
fall.
what was
Dark
it?
State wins the match.
I'm gonna give this about maybe three and a quarter, 3.25. Yeah, you knew this. That team wasn't going to be able to coexist, and you knew Dark State was going to take advantage of their opportunity. But either way, it's a huge win for Dark State, and after that, Hank and Tank basically went after Dark State. So why do I get this feeling it's going to be Hank and Tank and two members of Dark State for the NXT tag team titles at Heatwave?
It will be.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, I think Dark State's going to go over.
I agree.
So it's yours, for you.
It's time we put some respect on those boys' names. No doubt about it. 3.5 stars. I can make an argument for Fight of the Night honors on this one. Great main event match. Everyone delivered in the ring, and the storytelling was on point. And Dark State needed a win like this, and it definitely helps to solidify them. They're on their way. They really are. And I agree. When they challenge Hank and Tank for those tag titles, can you imagine them boys with gold, with championship gold? Freebird rule is going to be in full effect, and then some. Let me tell you, once they get those titles, that's all there is to say on that. So it was only a matter of time before the face team was going to implode, even though Trick is a heel, but still, I mean, the other three are faces. And storyline progression. We preached about that for years and years and years. So, and that was a perfect example of storyline progression right then and there. So, yeah, 3.5 stars. Excellent main event. Perfect outcome. They got this one right. Dark State needed it a hell of a lot more. And And they did it for one reason, because they want to give us a reason to take them seriously. After tonight, I'm taking these boys damn seriously. Not much more to say. MF, this is the beginning of bigger and better things for Dark State. They're going to be the tag team champions. And then who knows after that? Onward and upward. Put the rockets on them boys.
Yeah. And the other thing about this also is that you can make an argument that Moose is also a heel in this situation. So it kind of evens out. It's 2-2. Because Obafemi is definitely a baby face. You can say Javon Evans is definitely a baby face.
Kind of like a tweener. They're kind of like tweeners right now.
I don't.
Because Moose brought back his old baby face theme, and the fans are starting to chant for him. They're starting to do the Moose thing, you know?
Yeah, okay, granted. But I kind of still feel like he is somewhat of a heel because of who he's associated with more than anything else. Because of the system. But, it's neither here or there. I kind of feel like, yeah, it was fine for what it was worth. I mean, it was definitely Dark State's big moment and everything else. And as far as everybody ripping on Trick Williams because of what he did at the end of that match, I kind of had to feel like it's necessary. He could have stuck his neck out. He did it. He's protecting himself for that title match. So I'm not as angered or anything else because it fits the narrative that, I'm willing to risk my own, I'm not going to risk my own neck for my own safety when I know I have to put when there's a title opportunity on the line, especially next week in Philly. So I'm not as angry.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, he's got to face Javon Evans, and the reason why he doesn't want Javon Evans 100%.
Exactly. So that's why I'm not mad. That's why I wasn't as mad or as angry as it was. But just the mere fact of the narrative that you and Florio try to interpolate, that's what got me all riled up. Because it was kind of you were putting this assumption out there, and I needed to correct you two. So that's why. And I apologize for dropping the F-bomb. You're right. I shouldn't have the right to do that. That's, this is Floyo's channel. I get it. My bad. So I definitely will take responsibility for that. But, when I was hearing the way this was being portrayed, I'm like, wait a minute. No, you cannot do that. No, it's okay, Floyo. It's okay. But I'm just saying that's just my thoughts and my thoughts alone. So, nothing more to say. Like I said, it was a fine match. So let's just move on.
And we move on now to our overall review. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I mean, very little to nitpick about tonight's show, which was focused on the build for next week. The episode had plenty of solid to great wrestling, including a great main event and a bare minimum of bad shenanigans. I've said it before, but NXT knows how to build the big shows, but they also did plenty of work for TNA this week as well. So a very enjoyable show for the most part. And yes, we did have a couple of cutout matches. So, but other than that, there were only 2 matches, but all the other matches were solid to good to great. So not much more for me to add. This is another good 7.5 teetering on 8 for me. So MF, your thoughts?
I love 7.5, 7 3/4. I think, normally we don't go this kind of route for a show because we like to go 7.5 or whole numbers, but you can make a 3/4 on this one. I thought this was a solid show. I thought they did a fine job, and I really got nothing more to add. So let's just, Michael Bullock, you have final say for tonight.
Yeah, 7.5 for me as well. I mean, you pretty much said everything. So Florio, let's put a bow on this and set up the future content.
Yeah. Of course, this upcoming Friday night, before we wrap up, I'm not going to do, a full preview or anything. I'm just going to, run down the card for TNA Emergence that goes down this Friday night from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, exclusively on TNA Plus. And these are the matches in no particular order. Mike Santana one-on-one with Sami Callihan. Ryan Nemeth versus the Hometown Man. The Hardys versus the Rascals for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Steve Macklin versus Jake Something in a no disqualification, no countout match for the TNA International Championship. The Elegance brand, Ash and Heather by Elegance versus The Inspiration versus Fatal Influence. And Lei Ying Lee and Zaya Brookside in a fatal four-way match for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Leon Slater will defend the TNA X Division Championship against Cedric Alexander. And, of course, the main event, Trick Williams versus Moose for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And we will share the results of that show next Tuesday night here on Ridiculously Raw. So that will now put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you again on Friday night over on MF's channel for Raceway 95. But before I get into that, this week will be the final week of the TXN Sports World hiatus. TXN Sports World will be making its return on Thursday, August 21st for our regulation season finale. As we are going to preview the college football and NFL seasons. And then the following week, Thursday, August 28th, the return of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday. And then Friday, September the 5th, will be the return of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. And then starting Saturday, September the 6th, the Cerebral Smack Talk will then move to Saturday nights. So that's the layout. But for this week, we will be back with you again on Friday night. MF will have it. Raceway 95, Cerebral Smack Talk, TNA Impact, the final TNA Impact from the Ryan Center, and of course, Friday Night SmackDown. And in a rare Mikey's mindset, MF is going to hit you up. He's going to set the table for Triple Mania 33. MF's going to run it down for you. So that'll be next week. Or I should say Friday. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, we do it all over again with Ridiculously Raw. So that's it. So until Friday night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, Raceway 95, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, always and forever, our First Lady, the one and only Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Lord of Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed rest of your week. And until Friday night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.